Welcome back. We're in the final stretch of CeBIT 2015. These are our last set of interviews, and luckily, we have the winner of Coden. You guys have seen that I've been reporting on this all week. We've been playing you lots of videos from I think, one of the most exciting and visually impactful halls of all of CeBIT. It's full of young startups that are really looking to make a mark in all kinds of areas. My favorite product was obviously the Bluetooth bike lock. Yeah, ranting about that for a little bit. But the winner was actually Relayr that I'd met, I guess, 2 years ago. I thought it was longer. So this is Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here.
So Relayr has the Wonderbar.
That's right.
This is a very German name of yours.
It's wonderful. It means wonderful, and we thought it was a wonderful product, and the name fitted. We also wanted to work with the chocolate idea. So
well, and the whole packaging and the concept is absolutely perfect. Now let's actually show the people what we're talking about with the Wonderbar. So will you explain it to us here? And here it is down on the table. So let's have a walk through.
So this is this is the board itself, the Wonderbar. What we have is 6 different sensor modules on there. We have light, color, and proximity, temperature and humidity, an accelerometer and gyroscope. We have a microphone which measures relative sound levels.
Okay.
We also have an infrared transmitter, like a remote control.
Love IR. Totally all in. Yeah.
And then this guy at the end here with the white plug sticking out, that's a kind of 4-pin connector. You can connect that then to other devices. For instance, there's a company from Shenzhen called Seed Studios.
I love the guys at Seed Studios.
They're great.
Yeah.
Eric's a great guy.
Yeah.
So they have the Grove sensors. That's the Grove family, which is kind of 60 further sensors and actuators. And we've actually used their connector here, so you can just plug those right in and extend the Wonderbar further.
Awesome. So now you had the concept of the chocolate bar for your Wonderbar. And so this is a little piece of chocolate, I guess. And so this is actually one of the sensor modules, right?
Exactly. So once you've registered the device, so you have to kind of tell it where your Wi-Fi is, so it can connect to the internet, and then you can actually break the different sensor modules off, just like breaking apart a piece of chocolate.
Does it act like the PCB actually snaps?
Yeah.
That's a bit nerve-wracking.
Should we do it?
No.
I've never done it live on camera, but let's do it as a first time. So
Okay. Let's do it down on the table. Wait. You need to just be a little bit more over. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be really.
So,
here, let me hold your microphone for you.
Thank you.
Get
So
your
we just
hands
go
in there.
snap.
Oh, hold it down a little bit more. Oh, wow. So it really does just snap off. We're just breaking PCB here.
Just break the PCB into little pieces, and then you can put the battery cell in, the coin cell in here.
Okay.
And you're good to go.
Okay, so then what you can do is you can put these all around your house and kind of create a home network or infrastructure or some kind of magical Tron-like world.
You can do whatever you want. So you can attach it to your bicycle. I always joke about putting the accelerometer and gyroscope on your cat's collar. And then writing an app that would make big data to go with those funny cat videos. And then you could potentially do predictive analysis and know when your cat's going to do something funny. I'm not sure it would really work, but it's an idea.
Wait, what? This sounds unbelievable. Would it work on a dog? Okay.
For sure.
Really? So you guys have actually really increased the concept to be an Internet of Everything and not just of like home. Because I think during your initial run, like when I first talked to you, my impression was like that you could kind of enter into this, like making your home smart, right? But actually, you're right. You can make anything smart with these. The modules are small enough.
Exactly. So the potential's kind of endless. We designed it so that it would be something you could innovate with. So you could build a prototype, try out an idea, do something really quick with it. Sorry, my phone is ringing.
Oh, everyone wants to know about the Wonderbar. Oh, and that's a cracked display. Always hate to see that.
Nobody likes that.
So tell me a little bit about the infrastructure around this, because I'm sure there's a lot of coding knowledge that's going to be going flying around.
Exactly. Well, so the thing itself communicates over Bluetooth LE, so you can connect to it directly with your smartphone, or we have the master module, which is the big guy at the end. What happens there is he has a Bluetooth acts as the Bluetooth central device and gathers the sensor data and then sends it to our cloud platform using the Wi-Fi.
So this is like the main board of the...
It's kind of like a mini hub.
A mini hub.
A mini baby hub.
Well, yeah, it's actually impossible to call that a main board.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of like programs around teaching people how to program? And because if the average person is going to pick this up, which I feel like this is a product with the name and the marketing that it kind of edges towards the average person being like, you know what, I think I can do this. Is there like tutorials that I can go along with and maybe learn a bit how to do it?
So sure. Our target market really was developers, so software guys, because they have, we talk to people and they've gone out and they've bought Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, they made some Blinky Lights demos, and then the thing sits on a shelf and doesn't do anything because it's actually quite hard to make them do anything. So because this is hardware that just works, it's really easy to get started with. And then we have SDKs for Android, frameworks for iOS, we have libraries for Node.js, Python, C#, JavaScript in the browser. So it's very easy to start developing something. And we do have a number of beginner tutorials. So if you've always wanted to build an app but was just waiting for the Internet of Things to come to your door, then now's the time to get started.
Yeah, I mean the whole reason I was very much drawn to this is because buying, it's like you can buy a 12-year-old an Arduino board and they can totally, no problem, right?
Yeah.
They can totally start going on it. But this actually has real-world applications because it's true. Like when you buy someone an Arduino board, what do they do with it in their house when they're done? That initial kind of enamorment of like making lights blink and having things execute. But this actually, you're able to transform it into something else. So now with the whole makerspace that this is definitely targeted at, have you guys considered, like, are there anything to do with 3D printing, like the renderings are online, and then I can maybe adapt my own kind of thing around it?
For sure. So the chocolate casing, we actually originally planned on not making it. We were just going to make well, we have done the designs. We've tuned them for 3D printing, and they're all available on Thingiverse. So you can just download it. You can change the logos, put the name of your cat on the on the chocolate bar and print your own, or print it in a different color, or just completely change the design to do something else.
So now you guys with this concept, this is actually already shipping.
Yes.
Right? It's already shipping here in Germany. It's available in like MediaMart it's available
We're available in Comrade Electronics.
Comrade Electronics,
so
that was it.
Those guys are great. They did us a really good deal. When we were still on crowdfunding, they reached out to us and said, we'd like to be your distributor for Europe. And we said, well, we don't even know how we're going to get the things built. So they actually said they could help us there too.
Oh, wow.
So we sold the manufacturing and distribution license to Comrade. We also have distributors in the States, Local Motors. They're cool guys. You should check Local Motors out as well, and Seed Studios as well in Asia.
Yeah, I love the guys at Seed Studios. I think they're fantastic. So these have been in the market for how long?
We started shipping to the crowdfunding backers in middle of September, and then it's been available in the stores since October.
Okay. So
quite new.
So but there's definitely some units out there.
Yeah.
And what's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Oh, we've seen lots of people doing crazy things. So we do quite a few hackathons. We organised a big hackathon together with Bosch Siemens domestic appliances.
Oh, wow.
And I had 13 teams come over, and so they were using the Wonderbar to kind of make some existing domestic appliances smart. So dumb old mixers and coffee machines. They also have their Home Connect product range, which is kind of Wi-Fi connected oven and dishwasher. So I had a whole load of guys coming in, hacking with those things and building exciting stuff. We also, one of my favorite hackathon stories is it's a small Berlin startup called Baby Biko, and they had spent 3-4 months trying to build their first prototypes with Arduino for their next generation baby monitor. And they were totally struggling, and they came to a hackathon we did, and within 24 hours they built their baby monitor and an app to go with it. So
wow.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how fast you can be once you use our toolkit. And now they've got their own investors, they've hired some more people, and they're building a company built around our technology, which is exciting. There's a couple of those guys. It's good. Another one, Insulin Angel, coming out on Kickstarter next month. He's basically taken our temperature humidity sensor.
Were these guys at Coden?
Yeah, so they were finalists at Coden as well.
Yeah,
so
I did see them there. Yeah,
really exciting product. And because one of the things with the Wonderbar is that the layouts and schemas for the boards, it's all open source. So is the firmware. So actually, if you want to build your own Wonderbar, you can. It's kind of not very easy, but it's doable. But what he did is he took the temperature and humidity sensor, and because he wants to go to mass production, he worked with a different electrical engineering company, and they just changed the sensor that was on the board for a different one. I didn't say what it was. Insulin Angel. So.
So they have a container that will regulate the temperature of your insulin.
Exactly.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Exactly. Which is, that's fantastic.
Very important. Yeah. I mean, most hotels will have a fridge so you can maintain the temperature of your medication. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's a very cool thing.
Very cool. So we're seeing some really potential for this being the seed of innovation.
Yeah,
actually.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, that's also, we kind of sold this to Bosch as well. So obviously they have their own hardware. But because we have our cloud infrastructure and we have the SDKs, we have a large developer community already. It's growing. Would like to see more guys there. What we could offer to them was they have their connected oven and dishwasher, and they built an app for it, and it's nice. It's a good remote control features. But they felt they also wanted to reach out to developers to start getting people to think more innovatively around the product and start doing some funny things with it.
Like making a cat collar.
Like a cat collar. We also made a pizza app.
Oh, really?
So that you could kind of scan in your pizza, and it will give you the instructions on the app. It preheats the oven for you. You put the oven in. And then we made it fun, so we had a Philips Hue light bulb. The color changed, got redder and redder the hotter your pizza was. And at the end of it, then it hits a gong to tell you your pizza's ready. So this was a kind of little mini hackathon we did.
Very fun. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your experiences with Coden? Is this your first time exhibiting?
It is.
All right. So what was it like being in that hall?
Intense.
All week long.
Intense. I mean, it was fantastic. We had so many people, come and be interested in the Wonderbar, also in us as a company. We talked to a lot of, potential customers for the kind of services that we can build around the Wonderbar. So we want everybody to be innovating on IoT, and we had people from kind of, very big established German companies saying, we want to innovate on IoT as well.
Yeah.
Can you help us do it? And so we've been able to start a lot of very interesting conversations there as well. But also it's been great down on the floor, meeting a lot of developers, people coming along with ideas, people interested in the Wonderbar, and really just getting to meet people is always fantastic.
So the Internet of Things was a massive topic at Coden.
Yes.
I'd say 35 to 40% of the people that were exhibiting had some sort of either home automation or some sort of IoT product. Now, I love IoT, but one of my kind of conceptual issues with how it's moving forward is everyone's talking about the data that we're putting out there and connecting everything, but I feel like the context, like the contextual awareness of the devices with all the data that's coming out, it's still not as smart as I would like it to be. I still find that the human element is still super required in the usefulness of the setup. So your product is much different than a lot of the ones that are out there that are attempting to identify this niche of use case,
yes.
Right? Whereas you're really just enabling the platform for anybody to move forward. So
exactly.
when you start working with these other people who are, I think, a little bit in my mind struggling to identify how they're going to move their startup into somewhere that people will see, now I understand how this makes my life frictionless.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so few of these IoT startups that actually have identified that. Can you just speak on your experiences in looking at this? Or is there any advice that you can give these people for something that you've seen works?
That's a tough question.
I know, but it's just one of those things where we're constantly seeing IoT as the hot topic.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And
I think there's so much more work still to be done with it as well. One of the reasons, so I now have an infinitely deep understanding about how hard it is to build hardware and connect it.
Yeah.
I already knew how tough it was to build a cloud solution, but something that can connect to this device and many other devices as well to make that data kind of uniform, to be able to kind of do analysis across it, and also have a really deep insight now into how difficult it is to build developer tools to work with those things. So if you're an IoT startup and you have to kind of take all these things on, then it's just an intense amount of work.
So much, yeah.
And so our hope is obviously that lots of people will start to use, our technology and our cloud platform, so they actually don't have to worry about doing all these nuts and bolts kind of boring work, and they can actually start investing a lot more time and energy into thinking about the consumer experience and thinking about how to make things smarter.
Identifying a business model that actually works is also
Yeah.
also one of the things I've noticed out there that tends to be very, very difficult.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
difficult. Yeah. There's and whenever a company devowels themselves, I can never remember the full name. But one of the most interesting IoT products that I've seen in a long time was a puck that goes into your swimming pool, automatically measures the volume of the pool, does the chemical analysis, connects to the internet, orders the chemicals, ships them to your house, and then you just pour them in.
Okay, that's
right?
pretty cool.
So that to me, that removed, right, the human element, right? That where you saw the Internet of Things actually providing a solid use case for me and making my life easier. I mean, if there could be a robot that takes the mail from the mailbox, opens it up and puts it in the pool, that's the other thing that could possibly happen. But at the same time, I think the whole Internet of Things space still needs to grow up to kind of figure out exactly how it's going to fit in and the business model. I mean, creating a platform like this it's very clear because you're selling hardware, right? Yep. And it's a business model that clearly works.
Well, it works, but it's also, we put a lot of emphasis on the platform as well, because we see that's actually the thing which will grow most. Scaling a hardware business is kind of tough. Scaling a cloud business makes a little bit more sense. And where people are starting to understand it. I think one of the main struggles that we have is interoperability. So that if you want different devices to be able to talk to one another, then they need to know what they're talking about. Yeah. So, and at the moment, if you think about you have a Nest thermostat and a Philips Hue light bulb, well, they can't talk to one another. You can, as a developer, you can do something where you can talk to both APIs, but then let's say you want to use the NetAtmo thermostat, then that's another API you have to connect to. And then if you add, let's say, Tadu thermostat, then you have another API to connect to. Yeah. So it's really intense work. So we try and bring all those devices together on our platform.
Okay.
We're also kind of working on a meta language so that we can actually understand what different devices are and allow things to start connecting together. So we have on the platform, the Wonderbar itself talks MQTT, which is one of the IoT protocols. We're adding a co-app layer to that. That's the other popular IoT stuff. We also have HTTP, so we have standard API connections for sending data. And we do, and WebSockets, and we're adding a notifications layer as well to send app notifications. And we do API bridges. So for the Bosch Siemens domestic appliances, we basically hook into their server. They have a closed API, but they've given us the keys to the back door. We get their data, and we make it then. We make it available and tasty for developers to work with. So interoperability, I think that's the real key to starting to get things to move forward.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for that in all the startups that I talk to then.
Okay, cool.
So I didn't actually figure out what you got from winning Coden besides bragging rights.
Okay, well, bragging rights are the most important thing.
They are clearly the most important.
Unfortunately, I should have brought the trophy with me.
Trophy!
We got a nice, beautiful glass trophy.
Nice.
We'll put that in the trophy shelf in the office.
Hey.
And 30,000 euros.
Oh,
which
excellent.
Is nice. Which is it's always great to get not just a pat on the back, but something in your hand that kind of also makes a difference.
So after you buy beers for the entire office, what are you guys going to do with the money?
I think I'm going to hire a new project manager.
Oh!
To cope with all the new business that's coming in.
Oh, very smart. At the end of the day, we all don't get into business to be a business person. You never thought, I'm going to design this amazing Wonderbar, and I really want to manage a business.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
No, definitely. That's the realization with a lot of startups, is that you realize you could easily just become a business owner, which is fantastic, but that's not the joy of why you initially did it. So congratulations on carving out that niche where you can actually just really enjoy your work and not have to focus in on running a business so much.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to go away completely, but I'm trying to get better.
Help. Yeah, every little bit helps. So that's great news for you then. Yeah.
Thank you.
So congratulations on the Wunderbar. I actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier in the interview, but I thought these guys have been around for much longer because already shipping into a store and like a very mature platform as well as like a business model that was like clearly apparent. And so I actually thought you guys have been around for around 4 years, not 2. So like, congratulations again on just like moving so quickly and really kind of snapping up the open space within the IoT market.
Yeah. I mean, startups have to be fast, but we've been crazy fast. I mean, March last year there were 3 of us, and now there's 30 of us. I was mentioning before we have 22 different nationalities, so it's a kind of crazy office environment, but and a clash of cultures, but it's good.
And holidays all over the place.
Exactly, very random.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I was really excited to kind of meet the winner of Coden because it's one of the halls that I had to visit a few times.
It's great, and I have to say thanks to the Coden guys as well. It has been really awesome being there. It's been great.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to check out a few of the other exhibitors at Coden. When we come back, it's going to be more CeBIT live stream, but don't go away because it's almost over. Final stretch. We get to go home soon.